The darkness was total, it was thick, it was heavy. John Edward Jones was deep inside the earth, he was stuck. He had wiggled into a narrow passage, it was a place no human had ever been. He thought it was a larger tunnel called the birth canal. He was wrong. He tried to back up, he couldn't, his body was wedged tight. Every breath he took made the space smaller. The rock pressed in on him, he was upside down. His blood rushed to his head. Panic began to set in. Rescuers came quickly. There were over 100 people. They set up a system of ropes and pulleys, but then disaster struck. The rope system failed. The Australian outback is vast. It is hot. It is empty. For a group of German friends in 2000, it became a nightmare. They planned a hike in the remote western McDonnell Ranges. Their car got stuck on a rough track. Their first mistake. They decided to walk instead of waiting with the vehicle. They thought Alice Springs was closer than it was. They had very little water. The sun beat down. The temperature soared. They walked for days. The heat was relentless. They quickly ran out of water. Dehydration set in. Klaus, a young man, became very sick and could not walk. The group left him under a small bush, promising to return. Eventually, a search party found one survivor, close to death. They found the bodies, all dead from heat stroke and dehydration. They were just a few kilometers from an unknown water source. Small mistakes cost them everything. Their holiday turned into a fight they lost. The outback punishes mistakes. Christopher McCandless. He wanted a different life. He finished college with high honors. He did not want a normal life. He gave away all his money. He burned his ID. He wanted to be free. He called himself Alexander's Supertramp. He traveled across America. He worked odd jobs. Farm, diner, construction. He wanted to live alone in the Alaskan wilderness. He found an old abandoned bus. This became his home. For a while, he did well. He hunted small animals. He foraged plants and berries. He wrote about his hunger, he wrote about his weakness. A river he had crossed in spring was a raging torrent. He was forced to turn back to the bus. His grand adventure had become a cage. He grew thinner and thinner. Hunters found his body weeks later. He starved to death, alone in the bus. He went into the wild to find himself. Instead, he found only death. Mount Everest is the highest place on Earth. It is a place of extreme beauty. It is also a place of extreme danger. Many climbers have died trying to reach the summit. Their bodies often cannot be recovered. One of the most famous is a man known only as Green Boots. For nearly 20 years his body lay in a small cave on the main climbing route. He was part of a team that got caught in a powerful blizzard. They were tired and low on oxygen. They sought shelter in a small rock cave. It offered little protection. In the extreme cold, sitting down to rest can mean falling asleep forever. His bright green climbing boots made his body easy to spot, a grim marker on the route. In 2014, the body was moved and given a burial on the mountain. He represents all the climbers who have been lost to the mountain. If you make a mistake up there, Everest keeps you. Death Valley is a place of extremes. In the summer, temperatures can reach over 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Back in 1996, a family of German tourists came to visit. They were a mother, a father, and 2 sons. Their minivan wasn't built for a rough sandy wash. Soon it got stuck. They were miles from help, and they had very little water. The father and the older son would walk for help. The mother and younger son stayed with the van. Walking in the middle of a summer day in Death Valley is like walking in an oven. They probably became disoriented, ran out of water, and their bodies shut down. The father and son never made it. They died from heat stroke. Months later, searchers found the van empty with a note explaining the father and son had gone for help. They launched a massive search. They found 2 bodies, but the mother and younger son remained missing for years. The desert swallowed them whole. The park rangers kept this as a ghost story that haunted them, a sad puzzle with missing pieces. Timothy Treadwell loved bears. For 13 summers, he camped in Katmai National Park. He got dangerously close to the bears. He stored food in his tent. He never carried bear spray or a gun. He set camp close to bear trails. Experts, park rangers, and friends warned him. He did not listen. In October 2003, Timothy and his girlfriend Amy were at their camp. When the pilot arrived, the camp was eerily quiet. He saw a large male grizzly feeding on something. Inside the bear, investigators later found human remains. They also found a video camera. The lens cap was still on. The camera recorded 6 minutes of audio, 6 minutes of terror, never released to the public. Rangers had to shoot and kill the bear. Timothy did not die because the bear was evil. He died because he did not respect a wild animal. He crossed a line that should never be crossed. Nature has rules, not friendships. Respect wildlife. observe from a safe distance. The ocean is a powerful force. In April 2007, a catamaran named the Kaz II was found drifting off the coast of Australia. The sails were up, the engine was running. But there was no one on board. On board, everything seemed normal. A laptop open and running, food set out on the table. All the life jackets were stowed. There were no signs of a struggle or damage. It was as if the three men had simply vanished into thin air. The men were Dyatlov and his friends, Peter and James Tunstead. Investigators were baffled. The most popular theory: one fell overboard, the others fell in trying to help, and the boat sailed away with sails and engine. The men were left in the water. The ocean is huge. It would not take long to get tired and drown. We will never know for sure. The Kaz II keeps its secrets. In the winter of 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers set out on an expedition. They were led by a man named Igor Dyatlov. They aimed to cross the Ural Mountains. Searchers found their abandoned tent on the side of a mountain called Kolotsiakal. The tent had been cut open from the inside. It looked like they fled in a hurry. They left behind warm clothes, boots, and equipment. Some left barefoot or in socks. The first 2 bodies were found near a small fire under a pine tree, over a kilometer from the tent. 3 more bodies were found between the tree and the tent. They seemed to be trying to return to camp. It took 2 more months to find the remaining 4 hikers, buried under 4 meters of snow in a ravine. Some had horrific injuries, a crushed skull, broken ribs, and one missing her tongue, yet no signs of a struggle. There are dozens of theories: avalanche, military testing, UFOs, a Yeti. The official investigation said, a compelling natural force. That official phrase is not an answer. 9 skilled hikers dead in the snow, with no explanation. The wild holds secrets we can never understand. Their story remains haunting. The stories in this essay are tragic, they are terrifying, but they are also lessons. They are warnings from the wild. First rule: be prepared. Carry the right gear, the right knowledge, and the right mindset. Respect wildlife. Observe from a safe distance. Do not make friends with the wild. Know your limits. It is better to turn back and try another day than to push on and never return. Always tell someone where you are going. Always carry a compass, water, first aid, and a whistle. Remember, you are a visitor in a world far older and more powerful than you. With preparation, respect, and humility, you can have the adventure of a lifetime. Stay safe, stay smart, survive.